what the keys are to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show, everyone. It's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about the first pick for the 49ers, number 87 overall, Ji'Ayir Brown. Instant impact is what Ji'Ayir Brown's going to make. And you might be saying, Ed, how's he going to make an instant impact? They got Talanoa Hufanga. They got Tayshaun Gibson. Well, I'll tell you how. Talanoa Hufanga played a lot of snaps his rookie season. They were able to work him in with incumbents Jaquiski Tartt and Jimmy Ward. And the same is going to happen for our Ji'Ayir Brown. His abilities are just too good to keep on the sidelines. And Kyle Shanahan talked a little bit about this in his presser, and we'll hear from John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan what they had to say about the pick from Ji'Ayir Brown. But Ji'Ayir Brown has got a lot of ability. He's 5'11", 204 pounds out of Penn State. And the guy is impactful around the line of scrimmage. He can make plays in the run fits. He's really good at what he does, but he also can play the deep third too. He's going to learn behind Tayshaun Gibson. That is a fact. So we know that is true, but Kyle Shanahan said they play a lot of three safety looks. And even when they didn't with Talanoa Hufanga, they were able to get Hufanga on the field. So I think Ji'Ayir Brown's going to make an instant impact. I think the same things are being said about Ji'Ayir Brown that were said about Talanoa Hufanga. He's going to make an impact on special teams. He's going to come in three safety looks. He's going to make plays when he's out there, but he's really going to make an impact on this team. Hufanga started making an impact his rookie season, and I expect Ji'Ayir Brown to do the same. Ji'Ayir Brown was a great pick. The 49ers used some draft capital to trade up to select him number 87 overall. The Minnesota Vikings were willing to move, and the 49ers were willing to make that move. But what does Ji'Ayir Brown add to this team, and why do I think he's going to make an instant impact? Well, first off, the ability to cover a deep third. He's really good at being able to play a deep third safety in this league. You couple that with his versatility to be able to play around the line of scrimmage, and you got a complete safety. And that's what the 49ers were looking for. Somebody that could do it all. Somebody that could come up and cover in the slot if necessary, could match up with a tight end over the middle, or could come up in a run fit and stuff a running back in the backfield. That's exactly what they needed to do, and that's exactly what they did. They said they had a second-round grade on him. That is very, very impactful, and that's exactly what you want to do is you want to get players with a second-round grade at pick 87, the middle of the third round. That's absolutely fantastic. But let's hear what John Lynch had to say about Ji'Ayir Brown.
He's a baller. He's a baller. I think he's got the components of what make up a Niner. We had consensus, coaches to scouts it was all around the building. He really solidified that with his tape, but then he came here on a 30 visit, and he's just got this infectious personality. And I know something's been made about him not running a real fast 40. Our R&D department has, some of the fastest times amongst the safety stack, so I think he plays fast. He's good up towards the ball and ball production, 10 interceptions over the last couple years. He's just a really good football player. And then when you add the person, he's a team captain. It's just like Steve Wilkes said, that's my dude right there.
Steve Wilkes said, that's my dude right there. That should say it all. Steve Wilkes, the new defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, is all in on Ji'Ayir Brown. And that's what Steve Wilkes does, is secondary. Ji'Ayir Brown is exactly who he wanted to take with this selection, and he got him. And that's what you want to do with your new defensive coordinator, is get him his guys. They've been looking for somebody once Jimmy Ward was going to be moving on to play next to Talanoa Hufanga, and this could be the perfect marriage of player. Now, we know Tayshaun Gibson and Hufanga have unique chemistry. Both of them get along very good. Their games match what the other one does. So they are in perfect unison right now. But Tayshaun Gibson was talking about possible retirement. So he's got a 1-year deal right now. It's very cheap. And the 49ers went and got the heir apparent. This is not much different than when Tayshaun Gibson went to Cleveland in the draft, and he was there with Dante Whitner. And Whitner showed him the ropes, and eventually Gibson went on to have a great career. Now he's going to do the same. But when you're talking about a guy like Ji'Ayir Brown, he played over 611 snaps for the Nittany Lions. You throw in the fact that he had 54 tackles, and then he also had 3 sacks. So he was around the line of scrimmage. He was making plays, blitzing. We know the aggressive style of Steve Wilks with players coming off the edge and the blitz packages that he puts together. Ji'Ayir Brown makes a lot of sense. Now, a lot of the concerns around Ji'Ayir Brown and why he could have slipped was the fact that, like John Lynch has talked about, he didn't look fast. A lot of people question his 4.65 40, but that seems to not be a problem. Gibson is not exactly the fastest guy. Neither was Jaquiski Tart. Taunu Fonga, once again, another safety the 49ers have, that they've questioned his speed, yet they've been able to have success in the 49ers system, and I think that will be the case here with Ji'Ayir Brown as well. Plus, there is such a thing as football fast. When you're out there, you're playing, and you're just making plays. You're not thinking, you run more loose, and I think that's what Ji'Ayir Brown definitely does. He's got a lot of really good strengths that the 49ers can use to their disposal, and I think that being able to use him not just in the deep third, but also around the line of scrimmage gives them versatility to use Hufanga in a variety of different ways too. Hufanga likes to use his natural instincts to jump plays and make plays, and Gibson was a sustaining force. That was one thing Tayshaun Gibson always did, was he always was tried to be in the right spot. Did he have a couple of mistakes here or there? Of course he did. But that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to make sure that you have a guy that's always in the right spot, and that's what Tayshaun Gibson did. Another place that Ji'Ayir Brown is very consistent is against screens. So the way the NFL is going with this horizontal offense, quick screens, being able to get to the ball, get the ball in the receiver's hands quickly and let them create. You need guys that can make those tackles. Ji'Ayir Brown is good there. He's also not a liability in man coverage, which is huge, because even though Steve Wilks will not employ as much man coverage as most of the league, he still does on occasion due to blitz packages and overall setup of his scheme. So you do have to have a safety that's willing and able to be able to run man coverage. He's got great speed in pursuit, which means when there's somebody he's got to run him down, he can get there. It's also great when it comes to run fits, because when you're 12, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage and they're running the ball outside, if you take a proper angle, you're going to be able to be there not only to make them cut it up, but to also break down and make the tackle. That's something that Ji'Ayir Brown does at a high level. The way that he's built allows him to be able to withstand and sustain hits and big-time plays. So Ji'Ayir Brown will be able to do that in this league. And a lot of what I like about him is just the perfect nature at which he's going to be able to fit playing with Hufanga. Part of playing safety in this league is to not just get good safeties, but to get guys who have traits that work off each other's strengths. And I think that's what they've done in this category. Not only was he somebody that they liked because they liked his intangibles, his speed, the way he's able to make tackles, the way he flies around the field, the way he's had, like John Lynch said, 10 interceptions over his career. So he's been able to make an impact in turnovers, which is important because that's what Gibson added to the team last year. But also the way that him and Hufanga's skill set match up. Hufanga, a guy the 49ers would like to play in the box a lot, play him around the line of scrimmage and use him in those blitz packages. You can play Ji'Ayir Brown a little bit deeper and allow him to play that deep third the way they did with Tayshaun Gibson. To me, this was a solid pickup for the 49ers. You roll with Gibson this year as the starter. He plays with Hufanga, and then you slide in Ji'Ayir Brown on occasion and allow him to play not only in 3 safety looks, but also in place of Tayshaun Gibson or in place of Taunu Hufanga, depending on situation. Also, when you get to your nickel package, you could go to your 3 safety look at times. You could pull out Dre Greenlaw, and you could go Taunu Hufanga in the box with Fred Warner. So to me, it gives them a lot of versatility to be able to be aggressive around the line of scrimmage, but also to take an extra linebacker off the field and go coverage with Hufanga and Ji'Ayir Brown and with Tayshaun Gibson over the top. So it's going to be fun to watch what the 49ers do. I think this was something they envisioned before with different safeties, including Tarvarius Moore in 2019, where we've seen him get an interception in the Super Bowl. They did it with Hufanga, Tart, and Jimmy Ward, and now they're going to do it with Ji'Ayir Brown. So Tayshaun Gibson will still be the starter. He'll still make an impact. But just in case something happens, Gibson gets hurt, Hufanga gets hurt, you also have Ji'Ayir Brown. They have plenty of other guys in the room, but who of those guys are going to be able to make this team? George Odom seems to be a special team lock, so you would think he would be the fourth safety, but they also have Taylor Hawkins as well. So Ji'Ayir Brown gets added to a very, very talented safety room, but it's expected that he's going to make an instant impact because I think he's going to get on the field for some rookie snaps in his first year in the NFL. Super excited about Ji'Ayir Brown and what he can add to this 49ers team and how he can make an impact in his very first year for sure. And let's hear the second clip of what the 49ers had to say about him.
We're going to do our best at every pick we have to, first of all, find someone who can make the team, and then someone who can compete to make the guys we have better, or to beat out the guys that we have. So we played 2 safeties. We have packages where we can have 3 in. Last year, our starting safety got hurt pretty early, and we ended up starting a safety who we got in a workout 3 weeks in a training camp, who's now our starting safety this year. Huff just got to start last year for the first time. We were fortunate there with health and everything, but to add some depth and also a guy who we believe could have gone in the second round and been a starter somewhere else, we feel we got a real good player who's going to help our team.
Kyle Shanahan going over what I said earlier, about the three safety looks and Ji'Ayir Brown getting out there and the fact that injury could be a reason why he gets on the football field. I think it makes a lot of sense for the 49ers. Excited about this pick. Was surprised the 49ers actually went safety. History would suggest that's not something this regime normally does, but they targeted it. They found a player that fit their system. They found a player that Steve Wilks liked, and they pounced on it, and now Ji'Ayir Brown is going to make an impact for the San Francisco 49ers this season. Super excited about the potential of Ji'Ayir Brown in this defense. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about Ji'Ayir Brown making an impact in 2023. Is it too soon? Is it going to be 2024? Gibson's going to get all the playing time? Or do you believe like me, just like they did with Hufanga in his rookie season, Ji'Ayir Brown's going to get in there and he's going to make some plays and he's going to make us all excited about what happens when he starts in 2024. Like the video if you haven't. If you're watching this your first time, subscribe. Really, really appreciate it. Getting a lot of subscriptions lately and appreciate everyone's support. Thank you guys so much for watching the episode about Ji'Ayir Brown and the impact that he could make on the San Francisco 49ers in 2023. Plenty of other players were drafted. I'm going to be getting into all those videos, so look out for those. Next one coming up will be about Jake Moody. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. But until then, stay safe and remember the right way is always the 49ers way.